I can talk a bit about what is the situation regarding the proposal of TDX as a CVSP. What I did was, can you hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to let people know that we have a document that covers both CEB and SNP and TDX. And what I did was to submit a PR that contains both documents that describe the both features. And I submitted in the wrong place, so I have to resubmit the PR in the correct place. So I will do that next week. At the same time, there are some comments already in the PR. I will try to address them, and others that will not, that we need some discussions. So I will figure out how to handle that. Maybe I will go in just to move those questions to the new PR, or ask the author to ask again in the new PR. And also I having a discussion with the guy from Intel about if the document has to deal with the components that we require for attestation, like QGS and MPA. What is he proposing is to remove completely the mention of those components from the document. And I don't even know if it is required to a proposal for that. What we can do, and it's something that we already discussed with Senshao, is to remove all the section that talk about QGS and MPA and how we plan to implement it. And the result of that will be that the document will only talk about enablement of TDX and TDX, for example. I don't know how much the document has to talk about attestation. Have to mention something, or maybe could say nothing. I don't know.
How much of this do we want to implement in this cycle? I mean, what part is aimed for this specific cycle?
I don't know. Because what I tried to do was to replicate what we have for CNP, which is trusty and attestation, and I tried to replicate that on TDX, but I don't know how much wanted to put on the cycle.
In general, I mean, the proposal can be structured in a way that we do talk about attestation and so on, but then we say that in this phase for 1.7, we are not going to touch this. We are going to only touch the enablement. And then we will extend the proposal with how this will work. So, I mean, we could just lay out the basic structure. Where do we want, like, what components are there and where do we want them? But we don't have to describe how is this going to work. I think maybe it's premature as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we can. I mean, yeah, we don't. Yeah, we can maybe add in. Yeah, later on.
That's my point of view. I don't know, like Jed, Lubo, maybe you want to chime in.
I have some comments for this. Currently the QGS is supported by the QMU. So if we remove all QGS related parts from the proposal, then what about the QGS enablement in QMU? So do we also need to remove the QGS from the VMI? So currently I added a QGS just like a flag into the VM instance.
How is this working right now? This is being triggered by an annotation or a presence of the socket, or how's this been triggered, I guess?
Okay, based on a POC testing I did before, there is a trustee client called trustee attester. So when we run trustee attester to attest something from the remote trustee server, then the TDX VM will communicate to the QGIS and get a signed code and send the code to the remote server, and the remote server will verify it and return back something like a key, something like that. So I mean, even we start, I'm not sure, even we start a QEMU with QGIS, but if we don't run the trustee client, I don't think QEMU will communicate with QGIS.
So let me just take a step back. So we're speaking about two routes, right? I mean, the basic one where we just have the basic enablement, and then we have
Yes.
the attestation, right? So for the
Yes.
basic enablement, do we need any communication with the QGIS client? We don't.
No,
we
Okay.
don't need
we
it.
don't need it. We just just launch a TDX virtual machine.
Okay, and that, and then so the basic scenario is easy, and then when we enable the, uh, I mean, when do we enable the next phase? And then we basically require the QGIS socket to be present, right? And then we will craft like whatever is needed for QEMU to speak, to communicate with the client. So I'm wondering if we are separating into phases. Is there a clean cut that we can make between the phases? So
Yeah, I mean, if I can talk, yeah, I think you can split it in that way. So you will have your confidential PMs using TDX. You will not be able to attestate because you will not be able to generate the blob. Um, uh, Now I wonder, because I never tried that, if it is mandatory in QEMU to set up the path to the unit socket to communicate with QGS. I never tried that actually, so I don't want to say that it will work. Maybe Senshao can complement here.
Yeah, it can. The TDX VM can work fine without
Okay.
QGIS configuration.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's optional, not required. Yeah.
is this what we want? I mean, do we want it to be split to two phases and then?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, for me it's fine. Yeah, sure. So what I will going to do then, from the proposal document, I will remove everything talking about QGS and MPA, which are components that require attestation. If I'm missing something, I think someone can just let me know in the document and I can add it. But I will reuse the proposal to enablement. Okay.
Yes, the only thing is that I think we need to mention is what does the future look like? How do we envision the future? What is the next step? It doesn't have to be explicit, or it doesn't have to be. From my point of view, it just needs to describe where we're going with this. Yes, sorry. You.
To the previous point, also, I would not recommend removing it. I see that there are sections at the bottom which talk about the implementation phases, scalability, and security. So just move it to an attestation section for TDX, because eventually we will want to, like, now to Vladik's point, eventually we will want to add those things, but not in the initial phase, right? Right now we're just enabling the technology. Once it is enabled, then we will move on to attestation. So just keep it in the document, say we'll address this after the initial implementation is done.
Okay. Okay.
There's a comment in the chat as well.
It's in the chat. Describe what you need in the next. Okay. 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 I see. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Do we have any other topics for today?
I don't see any Alan or anybody from the MD on the call, so probably not.
Yeah, I don't see Alan or. Oh, okay, we can keep it
Okay,
short.
we can keep it short.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.